Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you. It is Tuesday night, and that means that it is time to explore. Now, one question I've gotten a lot from some newcomers, and some of you, some of you that have been around for a while, maybe a bit less surprised by this question. But the question that I get is, explore what, Leslie? What are we exploring? Exactly, and that's where we begin our exploration tonight on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie, and I will be your host tonight for Explorations with Leslie Tanner. It's wonderful to be with you. It's wonderful to see such familiar, gorgeous names in the chat, such as M15, Tanner Leslie, JJ, Butternickels. Guys, I cannot overstate how excited I am to be with you. It has been quite an eventful past couple days for Leslie. Thank you, Tanner. I appreciate that. Money Tits, welcome. Good day, Leslie, you handsome son of a gun. Wow, you guys are so the warmth that I feel already is off the charts. But today, some when we get to this time of year, it's March, right? It's mid-March. Oh, that tastes bad. It's mid-March, and when we get to mid-March, the season of it's kind of late winter, early spring. The year has taken on a quality of a sort of a gifted magazine subscription that you did not want or ask for, and you don't even really know what to do with a highlights or a Women's Day at this point in your life, but you get it. And you receive it, and you're thankful because it's better than nothing, and someone's thought of you. And but it has a sort of empty resonance to it, doesn't it? but that's exactly when Explorations comes into such a perfect use. The tools that we offer through this program are meant for specifically times like this. It's not so much that you want to die, but it's more that you don't know why you haven't, and questions like that a very gray sky. But today we are blasting forth with positivity, excitement, and energy, and I can feel the energy manifesting in the chat. Fill my ears with your sticky, but also surprisingly fluid knowledge load. Now, tonight is going to be a slow burn. I can feel it already. I don't really have a reason to expect of why tonight will be such a slow burn, but I can feel it right now. I can feel the lessons that we will learn will reveal themselves over time. Sometimes we get a lot of hot lessons right up top. Quick, hot, thin, sticky, but it goes away, and then we have the whole rest of our stream. But tonight will be a little different. I can feel it. I can sense it. I can sense that the lessons have their own way of revealing themselves, don't they? The lessons of inquiry, the lessons of the journey will take us from the beginning through what does the end look like? What does the journey look like? What will it cost us? What will the next 3.5 hours of call-ins and chatting, what will it cost us? It could cost us everything if you really want to reflect on it. By your participation, not only do you stand to gain more than anything, but you also are participating in a transformation, aren't you? You're risking a death of sorts. And what other stream is like that? What other stream commands you to risk dying? I would say none, just this one. But it's an exciting death, and a death that you sort of lust for, you sprint into. It's sort of like the mist written by Stephen King. There's something calling you into it. It's But today it will only be a good mist, and we may die, but it will be good, because there will also be birth and all the placenta that goes along with the fluid of birth, so to speak. Explorations is usually a good slow burn if you're edging the whole time. Now there we go. There is a man who knows the ins and outs of exploration. Money Tits. Money Tits has been here for a while. He is one of the bottommost bricks in the foundation. And by bottom I mean very important. I don't mean as well, I don't know if he is a bottom. That could be, I don't know him well enough to make that sort of call. But he has familiarity with the ups, downs, creeks, caves, peaks, valleys of explorations is second to none. Well, I risk my life every time I watch Amaranth, especially if my missus is home. Oh, that's true. Then Amaranth, famous breast streamer, and she and she's not shy about it. There's a lot of breast in her stream. She seems nice as far as I can tell. 915, did you know what Amaranth is, Leslie? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? I just saw a picture of her from the Streamer Awards. She looks very short, which I had always, whenever I see someone on a screen, I assume they're going to be tall. Maybe that's a trick of the lens. But I always assume that if someone's on a screen, they have a sense of authority. They can basically tell me what to do and how the world works, and I will believe without thinking about it. And along with that authority, sort of like a small child, I think that along with that authority comes a great deal of height, that they are much taller than me, and much like a 4-year-old imagines adults can just tell them what to do all the time because they're taller and like their parents. Well, so let's get into explorations tonight. It's going to be a fun one. And again, there's going to be some slow burn lessons that will reveal themselves as we participate, as we mold ourselves, as we give ourselves to the process, and the process will then in turn inform us and reveal exactly what we're supposed to know and what we're supposed to grow this evening, tonight, together, explorers. But before we do, I need to, we are continuing a sponsorship with Women's Shoes. It is Women's Month, the entire month of March, which is longer than Black History Month, as we all know. Women's History Month is a very exciting month. We celebrate women, their contributions to society, to our local communities, and many of us sort of expand that, sort of take that idea of womanhood and expand that away from the traditional ideas of womanhood. And we expand it to maybe the divine feminine, which we all carry in ourselves. So in some ways, it's also a celebration of men, which I appreciate as a man, and thank you for that. So today, as a man, I would like to shine a light on women's shoes. Again, best, hottest women's shoe store in the county. If you're in the area and you are looking for a new pair of women's shoes, check out Women Shoes. The sign says Women Shoes. There is not an apostrophe S, there's not an S. It is simply Women Shoes. Now, you'd think by the lack of a grammar in that title that you would that maybe it would be lackluster inside the store, but absolutely not. That could not be further from the truth. Once you're there, it's like you enter a sort of club or a family, like Olive Garden, or those guys that ride around those little go-karts in the hats. you enter a club like that, and everybody just kind of knows each other and jokes around, and you can even say like bad jokes or about things that you couldn't say in public. Like maybe I was there trying to try on shoes, and I did find some. Maybe I'll tell you about it sometime. But there was such a feeling of fraternity that they made fun of the cripple. They made and it was all joking. Everybody knew that they didn't mean any of these things, but they were really letting the cripple have it. It made me uncomfortable, to be honest. But it also challenged me because they looked at me with a smile, inviting me into their place of emotional safety to laugh at the crippled with them. And I abstained for a while until eventually they got me and I laughed along with them. But it's just a code. I know all those people are very nice and wouldn't say those things normally, but that's again, it feels so good to be part of a group right now. So if you're just looking for some new friends, just please check out Women Shoes. So anyway, once you're ready, can we get a sponsorship with Women Shoes? I wish we could. That owner is a tough guy to pin down. That owner is a tough guy to pin down, and it's. I don't know if their books are straightforward, if you know what I mean. They launder. I think they launder money, and if you guys have a connection to Women Shoes, I would love to get them on board for Explorations. I love their products. This is the sort of opening music that the team has put together for the beginning of the stream, and once we get into calls, we'll certainly dial it down. But until then, this is a sort of get comfortable, loose up, higher energy, settle into the vibe sort of music. Well, guys. Before we jump into calls, I do want to talk about tonight's theme. To do that, let's go ahead and change it. Let's go ahead and change the vibe a little bit. Now tonight, we are talking about a story. The theme tonight comes from a story that I remembered from my Buddhist teacher. I studied Buddhist Vipassana meditation for about 6 weeks in Algonquin, Illinois, and there my teacher, Chungpa Rinpoche, she showed me certain techniques and told me certain parables of stories. I'll never forget them. She absolutely shaped my life in a way that I could never have predicted. Chungpa, she showed me the way in and out of my breath, the way in and out of my body, and in the moment also. And these sound like such trite lessons, but I cannot impress upon you how profound these lessons were. I couldn't, with simple words. If you are in the Algonquin, Illinois area, I urge you to look up Chungpa and her temple. But she told me a story there about one of her pupils. One of her pupils from a couple years ago, who was very passionate and very motivated, but didn't take the time to be informed Thank you, M15. It's actually an original song completed by the team over here. Doofus, it's great to see you in the chat. So Trungpa told me about her pupil, passionate, perhaps too passionate, as we would come to find out. Very passionate about their journey, about they felt that they were indebted to the universe for existing, and they needed to repay the universe back somehow. Night bled into day, into night, meditating continually with no rest, no fun necessarily, just a committed focus. And my teacher, Trungpa, had no idea where this was going, but thought it would be fine enough to just let the wheels spin and see where it goes. Well, little did she know that he kind of wandered into the woods off Highway 94. He kind of put on his robe and wandered off into the woods, and his plan was to light himself on fire as a sort of gift to the universe or whatever. And as the story goes, he texted, everyone in the temple, like, hey, this is what I'm about to do. Obviously, everybody, this is a massive red flag. This is not okay. His mental health is in a poor, dark place. So they attempted to get out to where he was. But as the story goes, he sat in Indian style, like the iconic photo in Vietnam. And he doused himself in gasoline, grinned as if he knew his mind was intact, and he lit a match and lit himself on fire. And nearly immediately after sitting there, completely on fire, he is said to have started screaming and crying, I'm on fire. I take it back. I take it back. Fuck. I'm on fire. Fuck. I don't want to die. And they couldn't do anything, though. He was pronounced dead as the paramedics got there, which it took them about 45 minutes to find their way back out into the woods. There were no roads aside from the highway. And he died. So tonight, from that story, we're taking tonight's theme, and it is self-immolation. Have you ever thought about self-immolating? What are the pros? What are the cons? What could be gained? Is it something you're working up to, or is it something that's just not for you? What's your own version of self-immolation? Maybe you have a version of self-immolation you do at home by yourself, and that is your tribute, and to whatever is going on inside of you. Waxy, yes, I know it was. It was very inspiring. I don't know if this young man intended to inspire others with just the sheer the brutality of his mental illness, whatever was going on. I don't think he meant to inspire that way, but it certainly inspired me. Not to do what he did, that's for sure. Not to light myself on fire. But to think about that could be kind of cool if I dialed it back a little bit for myself. And I have thought about it, and maybe some of these things will come up in our conversation tonight. I'd love to talk to you. Self-immolation, and we are going to go ahead and open up the lines. (312-612-0853). 312-612-0853. We are discussing self-immolation. What does it mean? Where are we going with it? Have you done it before and survived? Do you know someone who's done it before? Bardic perspiration, welcome. Mama said not to. It'll make me grow hairy knuckles and go blind. Just lighting yourself on fire or jacking off? I've heard that about jacking off, and I think it's true. there was actually a Swiss study that came out a couple years ago proving that the hormones released while masturbating, it actually makes solo lovemaking. It actually increases testosterone and increases glucosamine HB3, which is a largely discarded hormone that is released in self-lovemaking, but actually leads to the overproduction of hair on our hands, including palms and knuckles. What about immolation of others? Well, it depends on what they think. If you ask them, Doofus, does self-immolation have to be literal, or can it be metaphorically? Can it be metaphorical? I think that's an interesting point. I think for most people it can be metaphorical, a sort of denial of self and enduring of pain. I think it can teach a lot of lessons. It can inspire a lot of people. Most self-immolation is later to be found not a product of mental illness, and that's a fact. That's actually true. That there were no depressive, violent run-ups to instances of public self-immolation for political purposes. What is masturbation if not a very mild form of self-immolation? Interesting. I never thought about that before. So, Bardic Perspiration is making an interesting point. What is masturbation? The act, well, I won't call it solo lovemaking because I don't think that's the point of this. He's drawing a line between masturbation and lighting one's self on fire. Does that resonate with anyone else? I'd love to hear from you. 312-612-0853. 312-612-0853. We are talking about self-immolation tonight. So Staub offers that masturbation, it definitely is a form of self-immolation. He means to punish himself and sort of sit with the pain the way he masturbates. I'd love to hear more about that, Staub. Do you have any? I got my coat cleaned. Got my coat and turtleneck cleaned. I had to wear my outside turtleneck the other day on the stream. And we're getting a call. 1 second, I'll be right back. Caller, welcome to Explorations. My name is Leslie. What is something that I can call you?
You can call me King Moderator, Carmichael.
Carmichael, you're not the King Moderator.
Are you sure about that one?
Yeah, is JJ around? JJ's the King Moderator, Carmichael. You're trying to kick up some conflict early in the stream, which I love the color of that.
What color?
It's a brown.
Sorry?
It's a brown color. Carmichael, I'm going to try to keep it simple because you don't understand very layered or abstract thoughts. So, Carmichael, how have you been doing? Tonight we're talking about self-immolation. What are your thoughts on that?
Self-immolation?
That's right.
Well, I think innovation is really good for the economy. And I think everyone would think that too. So that's why we should stop taxing the richest people.
No, self-immolation means lighting yourself on fire, Carmichael.
Well, why would you do that?
I don't know. Why would you? Can you imagine? Imagine this. Let's play let's do an exercise together, okay? Mental exercise.
Oh, I thought
You
I was gonna get ready to get up and do physical exercise.
No, just mental right now, okay?
Menthol, okay.
Okay. So, as a mental exercise, imagine that you are on the steps of a courthouse and you are on fire and you have lit yourself on fire on purpose. Tell me, Carmichael, why did you do that?
Because there were a lot of bees coming at me. They wanted to sting me.
So you lit yourself on fire. That's the best. Well, that answers your question from earlier, even though I'm not super gratified by that. But you lit yourself on fire to evade bee stings.
Well, that's what you said.
That's what you said. You said to get away from
No,
bees.
I didn't say that. That's what
Yeah.
you said.
No, that's what you said. You said that.
No, you just said that.
No. Carmichael, you're being sneaky and funny.
I'm not being funny. Setting yourself on fire is a serious act that needs to
It
be
is.
condemned.
So why did you do it?
I did not. I didn't do it. I would never.
Okay, well. Well, why? If you were going to do it, why? Like, imagine that you did, though.
But I didn't.
Yeah, I know that, but you can imagine all sorts of things that you've never done. Perhaps, maybe, oh no, imagine yourself flying. You could never fly.
Because I can't.
Because you can't, but you can imagine yourself flying. Have you ever had a dream where you were flying?
No. Have you?
No, weirdly enough, no, I haven't.
Okay. So then why are you asking me to have one?
I don't know. Well,
Have
tell
you
me,
ever set yourself on fire?
No, never.
I got a good one.
Go ahead.
You could set yourself on fire because you're cold and homeless. That's a good one.
So you're suggesting homeless people light themselves on fire if they are cold.
Yo.
Oh, okay. And this is okay. Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting thing to think about. They certainly would not be as cold.
Yo.
Can you think of any other downsides to that, though?
They couldn't have the bees come close so they could eat them?
Okay, that's pretty good. Well, Carmichael, I just want to share some things that I'm seeing in the chat with you. Somebody said that a noise you made was pretty inspiring. Do you remember the noise you made just a second ago?
No. Do you?
There's something like,
Oh, that was me yawning.
oh, okay.
I'm very sick. That's why my voice is all all stuffy.
M15, thank you for continuing the sub.
He's a
I don't know why it
submarine?
didn't show up on screen. But tell me, Carmichael, before we have to end the call tonight, I do want to bring something up there you have lit a fuse in the chat right now. The community is sort of on fire in a way after your claim at the top of your call that you are the king moderator. Now, Money Tits came to your defense, after which JJ Plays responded by deleting 5 of his messages in chat and putting him in timeout for about 10 seconds.
That doesn't sound like king moderator to me. Sounds like someone who's trying to hide the truth. That's what the government doing.
Interesting. So tying in the government and censorship, that is so worrying. So tying into like a general free speech. That's gorgeous. I think you've really. I can't wait to hear from JJ.
I'm trying to say pizza's not healthy for you.
What'd you say?
I'm trying to say pizza's not a vegetable and fruit.
Who
Pizza
is?
is a fruit and a vegetable. The government.
Are you? That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza is a fruit and a vegetable, and I will die. I will dig my heels into the sand of this great country, and I will die before I allow some elite cabal tell me, and I don't have any children, and I don't plan to, but tell me, a single adult.
Well, they always spring up when you least expect it.
You're damn right. Well, Carmichael, you came on stream, you asserted power, and didn't really understand most of the things I was trying to get you to talk about as far as self-immolation. But you came out of this call very powerful. Let's say there's someone in the chat right now that's looking to grow their power in their own lives, to improve their life. What advice would you give them right now, Carmichael?
Control media. Deny, deny, deny. And quell dissidents.
Control the media, deny, 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 and quell dissidents.
Also, don't forget to use coupons.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Thank you for calling in tonight, Carmichael. It's been a real treat talking to you, as it always is. And I just want to thank you for the loyalty that you've shown to the project of explorations here as we excavate our internal lives to grow and fulfill our potential.
Sorry, I lost you after you said thank.
Thank you for calling.
That's okay.
We can do that. Thank you for
What
calling.
are we
Bless
doing?
you. Huh?
I didn't sneeze.
Okay. Well, you have a great night. Please get some sleep. You sound sad. I hope you're not crying.
I'm sick.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Stuffy. But anyways,
Well,
I have
get
to
some
go be
medicine.
the king mod, so good night.
Good night. Good night,
Good night.
Carmichael. Butterknuckles, I hope that answers your question. He is sick. He is not sad. He is not crying. He is, in fact, he is sick. Adam? Hello? Bardic perspirations. People do tend to underestimate the power of coupons. That's true. I think that's true. See, I've often thought that. I've often thought that I've often thought that the older women that grocery shop during the day on a weekday and come in with a binder full of coupons. I've often felt that this was a naked lust for power, a naked will to power. And it's been mistaken as, as obsessive, an obsessive attention to detail. But I think they are ruthless. I think that they know the rules of the game perhaps better than anyone. That minus physical prowess, they will rip the eyes out of your head and make you want to KYS through just their use of coupons. And I think that is true animal innovation. True power. Tonight we're talking about self-immolation. 312-612-0853. I think there's something there to think about. We should. Jackie, welcome back. It's great to see you. Yeah. Oh, it's finally happening? The move's finally happening? I did. I made the coffee. But I made it with soda pop. I messed up. I made the coffee with a stale, flat root beer. Yeah, M15. It's the least pleasant coffee I've ever had in my life. It's like very close to becoming artisanal. Oh, and we're getting a call. I'll be right back. Explorer, thank you so much for calling Explorations. My name is Leslie. What is something that I can call you?
Hey, Leslie, it is Jeff.
Jeff, hello, welcome back. It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, good to be talking to you again, man. It's always fun.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I don't like the booze in the chat. I'm not liking that.
You don't like what?
The booze from Money Kits, Listen, I got snipers. We got snipers trained all the time. Ready to take them down. Just watch out. That's all I'm saying.
So did you see? I understand why you would feel that way, but but you're also getting some shout outs. JJ.
Oh yes, Jackie. Okay, hello.
JJ's from Waxy. Also, Jackie's excited to see you. I think this is the sort of thing that comes with your position. I think your authority, your will necessarily inspire hate. Does that make you uncomfortable, though?
It does make me a little uncomfortable.
It doesn't feel good.
I've done nothing wrong here. Okay.
You haven't.
I'm just doing my job. Just doing my job. I'm on the Leslie Tanner payroll. I have work to do. It's a full-time job. Being a part of the news team. Behind the scenes, guy in the chair.
So tell me, JJ, what's that look like? Give us a taste of the day to day of someone with in your position of authority.
Well, we're dealing with like 120-hour work weeks, right? It never stops. So we're really, I mean, we're trying to do, we're pushing for maximum efficiency. Me and the mod team, Doofus, Tanner, we're really cranking in the hours.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're doing a great job, by the way. Just as the leader of the team, the rest of the mod team has been really just doing a phenomenal job. Really keeping everything in line. Can't say thank you enough for those guys, right?
Right. So, what's an
We thank
example
them for
of
their service.
Some of us can relate to that. I'm sure, having ascended to some sort of position of power, to only find that they are inspiring a sort of either it's a hatred, a jealousy, perhaps, from those that are under them. How do you handle that? How do you handle that day to day?
We have our team of researchers usually on the case, kind of watching and kind of looking over. There's just kind of a room with a lot of screens. I don't really know what goes on those screens necessarily sometimes, but
no,
I know we have a team on there.
We do. This is the most expensive part of the entire project.
Yeah, it's like thousands of dollars. We're really struggling.
I mean, you personally have taken on most of the debt for that equipment too, haven't you?
No, I took out several loans. I mean, they're personal loans. My creditor is very poor, so we're dealing with some very high interest. We're talking 35% interest loans. It's
35, on a series of like $200 loans.
Yeah, no, they're payday loans because I can't. Yeah. My credit's so bad, I can't do anything else. Yeah, so I'm kind of just getting by. But other than that, things are good.
Well, tonight
my team's working.
Huh?
My team's working hard either way. And what was the? Did you see what's the theme?
The theme? Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Tonight we were talking about the role of self-immolation in your life. Have you ever lit yourself on fire, thought about doing it? If you have thought about it, or if you've done it, why did you do it?
Yeah, whoa, crazy.
Why, Jeff?
Yeah, why? I've never done it myself, and I can't say I've ever thought about doing it. As far as that's self-immolation? That's what it's called. You just light yourself on fire.
You light yourself on fire. Yes, you light yourself on fire completely.
And just vibe. You're just doing it. Are you killing yourself? Or, are
Most
you
end up dying? Yeah.
In a video game?
Huh?
In this video game, right? I mean, most of the time that's the thing, right? You would die, probably. Or am I just burning my clothing in like a cool way? Or do I have all that like goo all over myself?
I mean, this is a cool thing to do, self-immolation. It looks awesome, and it is, I respect when people, whenever I see a picture of someone sitting there and they're just engulfed in flames, I have to admit it looks awesome, and it inspires me to do something. I don't know what, but it hits me in a place where I'm like, man, I should be doing more.
Isn't there like a famous, wasn't it like a monk or something? It was just
during the Vietnam War's protest.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, they definitely did. They definitely went hard on the paint and lit themselves completely on fire and just sat there. That's pretty cool. When I look at that picture, I think that's fucking sick. Do you think that as well?
I mean, it's a pretty strong message too that they're in that case they were getting across. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Do you think it's cool though?
I personally would never do it, but
I'm gonna need a more like concrete answer from you, Jeff. You're sitting on the fence right now. You haven't given us something real strong either way. It's cool.
I think it's cool. Yeah, no, I fuck with it.
Okay.
Like I said, it's like a strong message. I personally, however, I think it's cool, but I wouldn't do that. Like, I'm not gonna light myself on fire. Like, that sounds terrible. You know?
I mean, it sounds like it would. Yes, it would be terrible. That's for sure. It would hurt a lot. But at the same time, it might feel kind of good. What do you think about that?
Well, what if though? Like, because the thing you're right. So, like, say I don't just like pass out and die from lighting myself on fire, like to begin with, right? And I'm doing it as like an art piece. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Then the aftermath, right? Say just in case I don't die, then I'm just like in pain, and then I'm just like burned. I'm just like severely burned for the rest of my life.
Severe burns.
Yeah. So either
Yeah.
we're ripping it again, right? And then we do part 2, right? Where I'm already a burn victim and I'm lighting myself on fire again, hoping for the fucking best, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know,
Veronica,
then you're just
welcome to
in
the
a loop
fold.
of catching yourself on fire, right? Because then if you self-immolate, right, you know, you burn yourself once. I mean, you're just going to keep doing it, right? You're just going to just get hooked on lighting yourself on fire.
That's true.
It's
Maybe it's
a gateway
addictive.
drug, right?
Maybe it's addictive. Maybe it's something that we all need. Maybe it becomes a need after a while. I never thought about that. That's interesting.
I mean, I wasn't going that tape, but yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, you know. Maybe sometimes you just have to light yourself. I mean, not yourself a light on. See, this is where I feel like we're teetering on like this is gonna get into a live leak video. You know, you're gonna light yourself on fire and it's gonna be crazy. And
I mean,
I don't
if
want
it-
that to happen.
if it increased the fidelity and sharpened the trajectory of the explorations project, I absolutely would light myself on fire. I have a notebook full of pictures of myself in this frame having lit myself on fire. But the problem that I have with that scenario is I don't know what that would I don't know what kind of positive effect that would have. If I can think of one, then I'll probably
Yeah.
do it. But I can't think of one right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would.
I don't
would
know
it get
how
more
you would really
followers.
go
Probably get
about
banned.
that. You would get banned, yeah. I mean, even talking about it is like, oh, you got to be like, oh, just kidding. Like, obviously, this is all technical. We're not
No, I
actually
mean this
doing.
absolutely true. This is absolutely. I mean this completely concretely. I do, but within a context of inquiry.
Mhm.
I don't. And if there, I would love to have a Twitch mod in chat because I'd love that kind of energy in the community. But if there is a Twitch mod in the chat tonight, it's the thing that's safe to. It's safe. I mean it seriously, but not if you're here.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I think that covers it.
So JJ, I must ask before you go.
Okay.
How are things going? How are things going in your personal life?
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This is nice. It's pretty
Yeah.
nice. She's back from spring break. You know, things with she's my girlfriend. You know, things are nice. New girl.
Official
girlfriend.
That's
Got a
exciting.
16-year-old girlfriend. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's really good. Yeah, she's she's great. She's awesome. It's very nice. He's been vibing, we've been hanging. Gonna go thrift together, you know, a little
Nice.
thrift action, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we just
When is she done with school?
life's good. She's done with school. She has another semester, I think. She graduates. She graduates next year.
Okay. Well, then maybe that's the window for your marriage. I did send her the clip of you saying that you would get married, and she had
Yeah,
only
well,
positive response to that. So that's pretty good for you.
Oh, well, that's good. I didn't know you were in contact with her, but that's
Oh
good.
yeah, for sure. I found her pretty easily.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, Well, she seems like a good girl, positive influence. Everyone's rooting for you. And if you have any advice for any budding love in the chat right now, what would you tell people? What would you give everybody a little bit of love guidance?
Love guidance. Yeah, I mean, geez, I mean, it's doing all right. I mean, I don't know. Again, I feel like I got lucky in this sense, meeting somebody that's like pretty nice, and then and fun.
Well, that's not very inspiring.
No, I'm not.
We can't all just sit around waiting to be lucky, but I appreciate the energy. We love to have something to strive for.
Yeah. I don't have that much of. Maybe on Thursday I'll be more insightful.
Okay.
She'll be with me Thursday. Oh God, she's gonna be watching the stream with me on Thursday.
Maybe she can call in.
I could probably get her to call in.
Yeah, get her to call in.
I'll get her to call in. Let's
Okay.
see. Yeah, let's see how this works.
Okay. All right. Well, JJ, you have a wonderful night.
Yeah.
I'll be in Discord
I'll be in
a
the
little.
stream.
I'll be around Discord. If everybody else wants to hang out for a little bit after the stream, I'll be on Discord.
Ooh, Discord hang night. Ooh.
Discord hang night. Okay. Well,
All right.
I'll TTYL. JJ plays.
Okay. Good night, Leslie. I love you.
Good night. Love you too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Everybody gets
All
back
right,
in
all
time. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Jeff's answer is win the Powerball. That was not helpful. Hoosteen! Oh, it's Jackie's birthday today? Happy birthday, Jackie! Very humble of you not to say it yourself, but... oh, man, we're getting another call. Explorer, thank you for calling Explorations. My name is Leslie. What is something that I can call you?
It's Dicky.
Who is this?
It's Dicky.
It's Diggy. How are you? Old friend.
I thought about it. How is it about?
I'm doing perfect. Tonight we're discussing self-immolation, the act of lighting yourself on fire. The pros, the cons, and what is something that we can... have you ever thought about lighting yourself on fire?
No, I think about lighting other people on fire there.
Other people. So other... You're talking about immolating others.
Yeah, some napalm.
So
That kind of thing.
So tell me, what is, why other people and not yourself?
Because lighting myself on fire wouldn't do nothing. But if I light other people on fire, it's gonna be a good fun time.
Well, have you ever been tempted to just kind of jump in the fire that you've already built?
I don't go near the fire I build. I make other people do my work, I see.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
That's why I'm the king mod.
Diggy, you cannot be the king mod. You're not even a mod.
That's what you think.
How? Prove me wrong. I don't think you're a mod.
I'm the mod. I'm the king mod. Everyone else does my work for me. The chat is moderated right now, isn't it?
Yes, but not by you.
Yes, because I'm making everyone else do the work for me. The CEO doesn't make the products. He tells people to make the products. Everyone does the moderation because I tell them to. They just don't know it.
Interesting.
Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't.
That's because you're not thinking on a good skill level.
So, Diggy, tell me, what have you read any articles about celebrities lately that you'd like to chime in about?
Celebrities? I read this piece on People magazine about Lily Tanner.
Mm-hmm.
It
What did
said
it
that
say?
he was not actually that tall.
Yeah, the article claimed that Leslie is not that tall. What did the article say? How tall did he say Leslie was?
It said he was only 6'7", and that's pretty short.
They say that 6'7" is short. How tall are you, Diggy? I forgot.
You know how tall I am. Michael Jordan's a little baby. I kisses your boy's head all the time. Meow, meow, meow.
Oh, that's right. You're like 10 feet tall.
10 feet tall. That's so small.
Doofus Dusseldorf says that
I
that
could barely
article
touch
was a
the
horseshit
ceiling.
hit piece. Listen, I think it's so fun what they say about me in the media. I'm gonna be honest with you, Diggy. I know some people in my position would be very stressed out to hear the kind of things that the media will write about someone that they wish to tear down. They wish to tear down his project. But what they do is they resent the light of the project. They resent what we are capable of and what we've already accomplished.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
they'll
that's
say
what they
whatever.
call free advertising, if you look at it in the right way. Free
Exactly.
advertising.
Free advertising. I say I welcome it. I welcome the hit pieces.
I think actually you should murder another person so you're getting into the Wall Street Journal again. You know what I'm saying?
What?
You should
What?
murder another person so you can get into the Wall Street Journal again.
Oh, I've never murdered someone.
Thousands of views.
Arguably
You already
manslaughter,
have.
but I've never murdered someone.
Yes, you did. You're in the Wall Street Journal. I saw it.
No. I involuntarily manslaughter, allegedly, arguably, but not murder.
There was murder and you were charged, but since you are so wealthy, you only got 20 hours of community service.
That is a bunch of horse shit.
I have the log. I have the
Static
lawyer
Doodles.
records.
I'm gonna throw this to Digi. Hey Digi, I have a question for you. We have a first-time chat chiming in. LOL, my GF literally just broke up with me. Crying smile face. What advice would you have for Static Doodles?
Static Doodles needs to fully invest himself into the Leslie cult, and there's nothing else he can do at this point. Or he or she or they or say or whatever kind of pronouns they're going to be using. You
Static.
just join a cult at this point, my man. And I use
Static,
that as an agenderist term.
There are a million. I'm gonna address Static for a second, Digi. Just hold on one second.
Millions of cults out there, but none like this one.
Exactly. So, Static, there are a million reasons that you could shrug off having wound up here tonight of all nights as a coincidence, as an accident. But I'm telling you that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there is nothing accidental about your presence here tonight at Explorations. You were meant to be here right now. I'd like you
Absolutely.
to, as all of us in the chat, have come to think of Explorations as a home, as a family, as a set of tools to interrogate the universe within and without, to become who we're meant to become. And this starts now for you, Static, if you want. You just have to, if you can find yourself to even just be curious about this acceptance tonight, it will pay you back in dividends. So, regardless of what you decide to do tonight, I wish you luck, but I wish you more luck, and you will get more luck if you keep coming here on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Digi, what's an example of how Explorations has changed your life?
Well, I mean, my life is kind of the same, but since I've been coming to Explorations, you know, I've been giving more weapons to Ukraine, so they're kind of blowing the Russians up a little bit, but it's kind of getting tense, and I'm okay with that. You know? It's not my problem.
So you're cool with the you're cool with the Russia-Ukraine war.
Well, yeah, but it's my job, so I should not be cool with it. You know,
Well,
I'm gonna
I mean-
make sure everybody dies, but I'm not really doing that.
Well, Diggy, let me tell you, we're all stressed out about the Ukrainian situation. We're all upset about the loss of life, needless loss of life in Ukraine.
I'm not stressed about that. I'm stressed whether or not they're gonna get the nukes off the ground. I really just need them to get the nukes up, but they won't do it.
Okay.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
so
That's the money shot right there.
what if we're all reaching? If we're all reaching for something, for our own sort of nuclear launch, if we all have our own nuclear launch in our lives, can you tell us how do you find the energy to reach for the impossible day in and day out?
So what you're gonna wanna do is go out and get some lubrication, maybe some gloves. You're gonna
Yeah,
wanna go to the bathroom and cleanse your bowels. And
sure.
you're gonna wanna reach into your own ass and right on the upper inside of the wall, kind of where your bowels is, you can try push there and find your prostate. And that's the real nuclear button.
So find your prostate. So whether you're reaching for a nuclear launch, you're looking for that promotion, or maybe you're just looking to, find a new apartment, the one that's less dirty and
That's your fault,
and-
man.
yes,
Find your own
you need to
apartment,
find your
weirdo.
prostate, is what I'm hearing from Diki. You need to put your fingers into your ass with a glove and lubrication. Find your prostate, and this is mainly obviously for the male-bodied explorers in the chat tonight. So
Oh, yeah.
if you
Everybody here is a male, 30 to 40, obese, addicted to weed. That's just a fact.
okay, I think that's probably
Fine.
truer than anything else you've said tonight. So, Diggy, thank you for calling tonight. I can't thank you enough for that last piece of advice to find your prostate and kind of just lay on the horn. No matter where you are in life, just make sure
Very
you're coming via
talented.
prostate manipulation.
Divorce your wife, get a boyfriend named Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Wear those leather jackets, ride a motorcycle. What can I say?
What?
I said, divorce your wife, get a boyfriend named Butcher, and ride those motorcycles with your yellow jackets on. Did I not be no clearer?
Yeah, sure, okay.
That's the metaphor we're working with here. You didn't know that?
Mm-mm. I did not. I love that though.
Yeah.
Well,
He's got
God
salt
bless
and
you.
pepper hair, and he wears oversized sunglasses. You'll find him. Just keep looking.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of them. I put them out there.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but we said some stronger stuff before that I hope everyone remembers and think and reflects back on when they think about this call tonight. Bless you, DQ.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What'd you say?
I said bless you. Namaste to you. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
I thought you said fuck you, Dickie. I was about to say, man, that's not very nice. Good
I
night.
wouldn't say that to you. No. I
Yeah, you're
cherish
better now.
you.
I'm the king moderator.
You're not the king moderator.
Oh, you know
I don't know
am.
why everyone thinks they're a king moderator, but you're not a king
What do
moderator.
you think is the king moderator?
It's JJ Plays. We know that.
I don't know, man. Who do you think controls JJ's brain?
Who?
Well, it's actually Gobi, but
Gobi? Yeah, well, hopefully we hear from
he's
Gobi
not around
soon.
right now. I'm the interim. He's on vacation.
Okay, well, I hope he's having a nice vacation.
He's not. It's just a bad one. But
Okay, all right. Well, hopefully, well, I hope to hear from him soon. Either way.
he's in an opium house in Singapore right now. It's kind of scary, but I gotta go get him probably in a few hours. So go guys.
Well, give him our best when you see him. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
We all miss
you
him.
know it. Oh yeah, they do. Okay.
Okay. Well, have a good night, Diggy.
You have a good night, girl.
Oh my gosh. Did you smoke cigarettes? Whoa! We're getting another call already. That's exciting. Explorer, thank you for calling Explorations. My name is Leslie. What is something that I can call you?
Hi, Leslie. This is Jackie. You can call me Jackie.
Jackie, it's great to hear from you. How are you doing?
I'm great. I've missed you so much. I've been very busy.
I miss you as well. It's been so long since it's been so long since I've we've heard from you. It's your birthday today.
Yeah, I'm having a great day. I actually had food poisoning yesterday, but I really took the explorer's route and used it as an opportunity to, purge myself for my birthday. So
that's beautiful. So you probably does it coming out the front end or the back end?
Both ends, Leslie. Yeah.
Beautiful. At the same time?
Yeah. No, not at the same time.
Just kind of hot
I
and
didn't
cold
get that.
faucets coming out separately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I felt, I was very upset at first, but then I was like, no, this is an opportunity. So I really leaned into it.
And that's absolutely the advice I would have given you if you would have reached out, which, but I would have said you got to turn this back in your favor. You got to realize how many gifts you're being given, especially as you purge about how many pounds of just shit that was sitting inside of you. What a gift!
Yeah. What a gift!
What can I ask you? What did you get the poisoning from?
I'm not really sure. Either from visiting the YMCA or an enchilada. What'd you eat at the YMCA? Well, I think I just was touching stuff, and I always get sick after I go to the Y. This is like my third time that I've gone to the Y, and because I won't work out for weeks, and then I'll be like, I'm gonna go work out, and then I go work out, and I get sick. But hey, I lost weight. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's helping me lose the extra
lost
pounds.
A good amount of water weight.
Yeah.
So the YMCA, depending on your experience. So you can have like a pretty pristine experience if you know what you're doing at the YMCA. But if you're going once every couple of weeks and you're not really getting into the rhythm, know which areas of the building that the workers actually clean, it can be a real crapshoot, and you'll probably get pretty seriously sick, as you found out.
Crapshoot is a good word choice there. But I kind of prefer not to know it. I kind of like the challenge,
the excitement
of it. So,
are you going to go back?
I did have I'm going to go back, but I also wanted to call because I miss you. But your coupon thing reminded me of a story. I think that's such a brilliant take on couponers. And Hustine and I were chatting it over, and it so perfectly nails someone in my life, and I have this very funny story that I wanted to share with you, and maybe just get your take on also. So my parents are retired, and they're miserable together and have been for just decades probably, and so they've been trying to walk.
Dead marriage.
Right. They've been trying to go out for walks. Well, it's just I think now that they're retired, it's hard. They don't have anything to distract them from each other anymore, So they go for these walks at places like the mall, or this particular occasion they went to the Menards. They were just going to go for a walk around the Menards.
Sure.
And so when they got in there, the whole, they had a talking in the car about how they weren't going to buy anything. They were just going to go for a little walk. And they go in, and there's a sale. There's a sale. And you basically get 10% off whatever you can fit in this little shopping bag. Those disposable bags, or not disposable, but the plastic bags that probably said Menards on it. Right? Mm-hmm. So whatever you can fit in this bag, you get 10% off. So my mom was like, we're doing this, Joseph. We have to do this. We're doing this. And he's sort of bullied, I will say, in this relationship. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay. pick your battle, right? But there weren't any more bags. So she was like, well, I'm just going to push around the cart, and then I'll try to, like, eyeball it, what would fit in that bag. So they spend a couple hours filling up the cart for whatever they think will fit in the bag. And by the time they get to checkout, she tells him she has to poop, and so she's going to go to the bathroom. And so my dad has to check out. And I know if you know this dynamic, I know what's happening here. My dad is probably like, oh no, I'm going to have to get this discount for everything or she's going to be furious. And that's true. But there's clearly more in the cart than there ever would have been able to fit in this little bag.
Okay, interesting.
So she goes to the bathroom, and he is like talking to the lady. He's like, I'm sorry, I know it's more than what would fit in the bag, but like, I don't know, like, what can we do? And so the cashier lady is, I think, like, okay, whatever, dude. Here, I'll just give you 10% off all this, and then I'll charge you full price for the orange juice. Well, then my mom comes back, fully relieved, and she is furious that this orange juice is not 10% off also. And so she makes a huge deal and, like, yells at the lady and then, like, takes everything out of its packaging and puts it into the bag, the bag that you're supposed to fill, to prove that everything fits in the bag, even the orange juice. But she took Sprite cans out of the cartons to like put it in the bag to fit everything in it. The orange juice still didn't fit, but I think the cashier just gave her 10% off. It was like, please just leave. Please just get out of the store. So anyway, your idea about power and it being like a sort of power hungry thing, I think that's so real. It's such a like low grade manipulation of like enforcing power that she wants so badly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love your take on that.
I think there's such a it's a transactional thing where there's clearly an imbalance of power in that the cashier generally has most of the power. They have the computer in front of them. They have the buttons. They have access to prices. They can make up prices if they really wanted. But to watch somebody take an incentive and sort of subvert that and turn it into like a large axe or a blade and just hack away I imagine like a sort of like a ninja Kobe Bryant, just like juking and jiving and flashing into little spaces and not being able to be caught and just absolutely ruining someone's life.
Yes. And for 10% off the orange juice at Menards.
And for the principle of it, I think that's maybe the most unsettling part of that sort of thing is that kind of person. They're willing to just reach into somebody's neck and rip their jugular out for maybe about 33 cents, and it never occurs to them later. It's just the simple principle of it, and that is a dangerous person.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree, and not just the cashier, but also my father, the person that she's sort of making check out as a test. It's always a test, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to get the full 10% off? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many games. I mean, you're right, the Kobe Ninja. There's so many games being played there. Yeah. And
I was also imagining and thank God that your parents are still, independent and because I was imagining, I imagined for a moment, because I work, I've worked with a halfway home of people, it's a mixture of guys that are in and out of jail, that are maybe have a couple DUIs and need help with rehab, or some of them are just cognitively disabled and they need like practice, kind of just folding their clothes and stuff. And if any one of those guys did what your mom did, they would have put him down with a tranquilizer. I am legally authorized to do that. And to court that kind of danger, and that kind of brings me to the final thing I want to say about that is that you're to court the danger of all of that and the willingness to just risk it all and be very aggressive is it's intimidating, but also that's why you respect it. They're playing with fire. They're like juggling fire or something, and you just have to like stand back and like you win because it's an animal thing. It invokes an animal
like,
sort of power differential.
Yeah, you're right, because you are just like, wow, don't even mess with that. They're, wow.
Well, also,
they don't care.
This whole debacle began with 10% off, which I think is pretty interesting.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite that it was like 10% off, and that it was, I love the imagery of like her taking the Sprite cans out of the carton, and then this being retold. My father retold this story to my brother. This is how it gets passed around. You know what I mean? Because he's like, she made a huge scene. It was wild. Like you can tell he's like in shock for the last 40 years. And so I love that image. I can't tell it the story without laughing. I think it's so funny because all you can do is laugh at it or like acquiesce all of my power to the animal, right?
Exactly. Well, and I've got a question from the chat. Waxy Caps asks, is there another example of this happening with the parents?
Oh, yeah.
This is a pattern.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what do you mean that the sheer narcissism of this, or the sort of small power grabs or the game playing? Because all of it I have I turned 36 years old today, and so I think 36 years worth of story for you. Okay,
so that's a definite yes, Waxy. No matter how you look at it, I imagine. So, one thing, one kind of like final thing. I just choked on my own spit. Hold on.
Oh no. Oh my God. Leslie, do not die on my birthday.
Yeah, I know.
That would be devastating. I couldn't.
You got to be careful with spit. You got to be careful with spit. You cannot breathe spit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do that.
One thing that I want to ask you is that with your mom, if you talk to her right now and you kind of recounted this story for her, would she be like, I know, I really got out of hand? Or would she say like, you're goddamn right I did that?
Oh, that latter. You're goddamn right. And they should have given me a free bag.
Wow.
For wasting my time. But here's the thing, Leslie, I would never say this. Please delete any recordings of this because I'm terrified of her. I don't think we'd ever talk. I don't think we'd ever talk about it. But yes, it would definitely. I don't think I've never heard them say anything remotely like, yeah, maybe that was too far. Like no bending. Just like, yeah, damn right. It said 10% off. I fit it in the bag, didn't I? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Also, then that would unleash into a yelling about how my father didn't do it right. You know?
Wow.
Like a shaming more than a yelling. But hey, here's the thing that's great about being an adult is that I think that story's so funny now. I think it's so, hearing it from my brother, my siblings and I like make fun of it now versus like being terrified, scarred children by you know what I mean about that dynamic, like because we're out and we recognize like we can't, even my dad, my dad's making the choice to stay in that sort of, I would say, abusive dynamic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't have to save anyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like,
you can kind of just watch
be party to it.
You can kind of just watch the car accident happen over and over again.
Yeah, dude, and I can drink some orange juice. The 10% off Menards orange juice.
That's beautiful. That's a really beautiful cap to put on. And if you talk to your mother, please, I implore her, just for her own sake, to start doing some Sudokus or something. Because if she ends up in a situation like in one of my halfway homes, I would have to necessarily put her down if she started acting like that at a Menards.
Yeah, I think she would like exploring. Although this is my safe space, she's not invited here. But I think some explorations might do her well.
Interesting. I love that. Yeah, I'd love to get that going. Happy birthday, Jackie! Thank you for calling us and kind of sharing that extremely colorful story.
Yeah, you really nailed it on the head with the power thing. It's just, yeah, no, I don't think those people can get power anywhere else, but they desperately need it and seek it and feed off of it. So coupons are a great outlet for that. So
what a nightmare.
I love it. I just love that she was like, I gotta poop. You gotta do this. Like just that detail too. So many great details. But so lots of poop stuff in my call. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be
We can
poop
talk
caller,
about poop.
but
That's okay. This was we can talk about. You can say poop, or you can talk about pee. The list goes on forever.
Yeah, I just don't want to be the poop girl. You already have the diaper Tony Spaghetti, who I love. Shout out to Tony.
Shout out Tony. Yeah, hopefully we get to hear from him.
Yeah. Well, I love you so much. I hope you have a great my birthday. Happy birthday, my birthday to the Explorers. So
happy
we
birthday
gotta go
to
do
you.
Some more housework.
Well, thanks for calling, Jackie. It was great to hear from you, and good luck with the move.
Okay, thanks. We'll have you
All
over.
right.
Love the
All right.
special.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye. I see something in the chat I need to investigate. They just remodeled their home. Context of the need. Well, yeah, 10% off is like that's a Rubes discount. Can't imagine. The coffee's not good, but also I put a little bit of whiskey in it, so it's not adds to this bitterness. And we're getting another call. What a fruitful evening here at Explorations. One moment. Explorer, thank you for calling Explorations. My name is Leslie. What is something that I can call you?
Hey, Leslie, it's Ian.
Ian, how are you doing, friend?
Doing pretty good. How about you, Leslie?
I'm doing good. I am. The calls have been they've been very varied tonight. So I find myself just kind of invigorated from a million different directions, and I'm thankful for every single one of those directions. How are you? What's on your mind tonight, Ian?
I mean, like, pretty much the same thing you're saying. Like, I'm feeling filled up. All my holes of knowledge are being thoroughly filled from everywhere. You know, it feels great.
It does.
You know. Yeah, and I wasn't gonna call in tonight because I've been really busy. I'm over in South Africa, Cape Town right now, and we're trying to teach JavaScript to African kids in villages and stuff like that. But
that's
then I
gorgeous.
Heard, it's just a little passion project. Then I heard, this guy Jeff calling, saying all this stuff, and he's just the worst.
So we've got.
I mean, it's all just lies.
So you, if the line's drawn, you're not on Team Jeff. You're disgusted with Jeff.
No, yeah, he needs to go. I mean, we've already seen how he reacts to the whole, I won't get into it, but the whole C-word thing, my thoughts and feelings on that. He's a pushover in that regard. And now, he has a competitor in the market, Carmichael, who I think is a shoo-in for the next King Mod. And he's getting all sensitive, and he's censoring all this stuff. It's stupid.
So, oh my God. Do you think that I think the competition of that is very healthy. It will drive everyone to reach for higher heights of moderatorship. But also, I think there's Static Doodles. Welcome to the fold. Everybody, please welcome Static Doodles.
Hell yeah.
And I think also I prefer when things are harmonious and we get along, but I think a healthy amount of not only discontent but genuine hatred can be very helpful. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree, like, I still love Jeff. I think I still kind of trust him, but, like, no, I don't think anybody really in the Discord or, like, the stream or the show knows about, like, Jeff's dad was actually in the 60s. He used to hang out with David Berkowitz. He was the New York City 77 caliber killer that was, like, connected to, like, a bunch of, like, devil cults and, like, Charles Manson. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
So Jeff's dad was connected to the CIA and like local killer mind control experiments.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And how do you think that's shaped Jeff? This is an interesting perspective that not a lot of us have on Jeff. How do you think that's shaped Jeff, Ian?
Well, I mean, if we're just going off my own theories, then I'd assume, Jeff was essentially brought up in these interstate devil cults, and he's probably been to, like, all the, it's probably like a kid growing up in any religion, you go to, like, all these church activities, but the whole time, it's creepy black magic, and they're sacrificing animals and stuff.
Sex with animals.
All this hate, and I think that's why he's kind of a monster now.
Has Jeff ever had sex with an animal?
I mean, I wouldn't answer that.
I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up a little bit. Say that again.
I wouldn't. I don't think I could answer that.
Okay. Well, I think the possibilities at least there, and I think that's enough for us to keep in mind. So interesting. So tonight, Ian, we're talking about self-immolation, the act of lighting oneself on fire.
Yeah.
What? Tell me what is on what comes to your mind when you consider that? Have you ever thought about that, or what do you think about other people doing it? You think there's pros and cons involved?
Oh yeah, I think it's a regular old Pandora's box, like, I feel like a lot of people think about lighting yourselves on fire, like, especially you see fire, like, for me, I really like the color orange, like, I want to touch it, I want to taste it, I don't know if it's like an autistic thing, but I want orange, like, I want to eat fire and stuff and feel it, but, you learn pretty quickly, it's hot, it hurts, but I mean, that's kind of like, I feel like it's also really similar to, like, something I like to ask people, like, oh, would you, if you had a week to live, would you eat your own shit? It's kind of the same thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you had a week to live, would you eat your own shit?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a fascinating inquiry to put into the.
Because it's like if you eat it, then you might. Then what if you like it? But you only have a week to live.
So it's a sort of lose-lose situation. Because if you eat it and you don't like it, then you have a mouthful of poop. But if you
I don't
eat
think
it,
so. I think because then you're brave if you do it.
Yeah, well, but you're brave. Bravery is a virtue because it leads to positive things. ultimately, but this is a situation in which if you are brave enough to do it, if you don't like it, you have poop in your mouth. That sucks.
Well,
But if you like it, then you have to regret a whole life of a lack of bravery for not having tried poop at that point yet.
but I think the whole thing about it too is like we're so pre-programmed, and it's so hard to like break yourself out of the mindset that like, because at least in like Western culture, like, oh, like you're not supposed to stay away from poop, but like, I don't know, like I feel like if you naturally, as just a human being, look down at certain times when you poop, like,
Sure.
it doesn't look bad sometimes. Like sometimes it's like, wow, I could take a little piece.
Yeah.
Not the whole
I see what you're
lot,
saying.
but yeah.
But like maybe like icing.
And
like
then
ice
but you
cream.
get so ostracized for saying this.
Yeah. God forbid we talk about that, God forbid we talk about a natural thought and feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were animals that did eat our own poop, we'd be far from the only animals that ate our own poop.
Yeah. My friend, he actually ate his own brother's poop once, and he said it just kind of tasted like dirt. It wasn't even that bad.
Well, I think that's something that we should all think about tonight. I've got some questions from the chat for you. Well, JJ says he didn't like our discussion of him, so my apologies,
Well, he's
JJ.
stupid,
But
so.
huh?
He's stupid. He's stupid.
Well, maybe we could talk about it in Discord, JJ. Let's see. M15 says, does he find poop with pieces of corn more tempting? Does it make it more having like visible food? Does it make it more like appetizing?
Yeah, I feel like the corn would actually probably be better, because like it kind of, I know it stays pretty whole, so like for the flavoring, that'd probably help. But I don't know if that would make it more harder to take down.
Interesting point from Rain Boomer. That's how you get diseases, regardless of the taste. What do you have to say to that?
I mean, this is just a random person on the internet. I don't. Yeah. I'm actually here in Africa teaching JavaScript to kids in villages.
So no one needs to tell you about how to live your life. You're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Let's see here.
Well, I'm gonna tell you in like a week or two. I'm gonna start actually. I'm looking at drinking urine, so I'm gonna tell you about that in the future.
What are you gonna tell me about? Oh, after the taste of drinking piss?
No, not like the taste. Just like is it good for you?
I've heard that it is, but I'd love to hear you. Wow, Rain Boomer's really digging in. So-called free thinkers, when they're told to eat shit, is what Rain Boomer has to say. Kind of.
That's true.
Kind of lashing out. So, thank you for planting these seeds. Thank you for the insight into, there's a hot this is all brought up somebody declaring themselves King Mod. There's a hot bit of drama running through the stream right now in the community, which I am I regret, but also trying to fan the flames of. I want to see where this goes. Thank you so much for calling, Ian. I really appreciate everything that you shared with us tonight.
Thank you, and can we please just let's get some weed out to Ukraine. So people that are in Ukraine, the rest of they can smoke some weed and we can all be family again.
So get some weed to Ukraine. If we could drop a pallet of nugs, that would probably go a great deal and probably help the situation a lot. If everybody, there'd probably be no war or something.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
Yep.
Well, thank you for that last little piece, You have a wonderful night, Ian. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Knowing this guy, his piss probably has an alcohol percent of at least 7%. Well, maybe. Would it taste better or worse that way? Butterdickles, I know we're doing a bit, but for real, you don't want to ingest feces of an apex predator. Why not? Why specifically an apex predator? I'm gonna need some science to back this up. What? High in taurine because they eat animals. I thought taurine was good. Isn't taurine good? I'm pretty sure taurine's good. Well, what happens? I mean, what happens? I'm trying to understand the situation, Butter. You're speaking with some authority, and I'm ready to believe you. I'm ready to go all in. I'm not joking. Don't eat poop. Sorry, Butter. But this is a place. I mean, I appreciate your opinion, and I trust that your heart is in the right place. But this is not a place of absolutes. This is a place of exploration. If we need to explore, as our explorers bring up topics, and we need to explore them, we owe it to them to allow the space for exploration. If that means really detailing the ins and outs, pros, cons, cost benefits of eating shit, whether it's our own or an animal, an apex predator, as you say, then I think we owe that to each other and to ourselves. But if you have an article that says like why eating poop is bad, I'd love to sink my teeth into that, so to speak. Meningitis. Yeah, meningitis seems like it's not comfortable. Swelling of the brain. Interesting, bardic perspiration. Maybe if you cooked it a little bit. Maybe if you steamed it up. Maybe if you grilled it. Bread it, deep fry it. Who's Jidus, and why aren't there men in him? Red Bear, it's great to hear from you. Well, tonight, I know we've been on this, we've been talking about poop and eating poop and the pros and cons of that, but tonight we are discussing self-immolation, the ins and outs. Why would somebody do that? It seems such a violent thing to do to oneself, but yet so many participate, and it looks so cool. What is so cool about it? I ask myself, what is so cool eating shit is a form of self-immolation? Interesting point. Imagine you put on your traditional religious robe, you go to a town square to protest a war, and instead of lighting yourself on fire, which has already happened, we've all seen the photo, and we're kind of over it. So it has been coded into the simulation already. The neolibs have already milked that image for everything it's worth. So we need something new to end the war in Ukraine. And maybe it's self-immolation through the act of eating shit. Everyone's kind of being bashful if they're not agreeing that they wouldn't at least try the taste of their own shit with a week to live. I don't know. There's a lot of juicy ideas coming out of the chat tonight. Oh, let's get a clearer definition then for bardic. I'm still trying to get. Does intent matter? What if I set my appendix on fire after it's been surgically? That doesn't count. No, that doesn't count. Yeah. It has to be destroyed. It has to, like, there's a totality involved. Thank you for keeping us focused, Rain Boomer. I think if we got a photo op of us as a community eating shit in a town square, partial immolation, yeah, but it's really not, like, I see, if we parse out the words immolate to destroy, but, I mean, I guess, I mean, you can take that pretty far. If you cut off like a chunk of your hair and let that on fire, would that be called self-immolation? I think we're losing the spirit of what that word means if we get, you know, if we keep maybe your legs, but they'd have to be attached to you. But then if they were still attached to you, it wouldn't be total. Interesting. Well, if you all excuse me just for a moment, I'm gonna go potty really fast. It's sneaking up on me. I have to pee-pee, and then I'll be right back. I'm gonna say to you, oh shoot. Never mind. We're getting a call. Thank you for calling Explorations. Caller, my name is Leslie. What is something that I can call you?
Hi, Leslie. This is Belly.
Oh, it's Belly. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting over COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you got COVID. Well, how was it for you?
Not great. The first couple days were pretty bad. Not bad, like super bad, but enough to completely, like, almost floor me. And then the next 3 days were better. It's kind of like a cold, I guess, like a 7-day cycle.
But like in a kind of an intense cold?
Yeah, for sure. Like sweating while you sleep. And weird dreams, stuff like that. Not great, but once it's over, it's over. Like I'm like, this is my hope, is that it's like maybe I won't get it again. Had you been vaxxed or no? Yeah, I've been vaxxed and boosted. So because I work at I volunteer at a nursing home, and you can't even step in there unless you're vaccinated. And like, so I did it as soon as I could, but it was just weird and hard, but not that bad. I guess I'm sure people have been through a lot worse, but I can. Either way, it's kind of scary to get because when you it's like I don't know if you've done that test, the COVID test.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I've done it a handful of times.
Walmart. Yeah, it looks like a pregnancy test. and you have to spit into it and then like inject your saliva into it, and then it shows like 2 lines to show you if you have COVID or not. So if there's 1 line, it's just you're not sick. But if there's 2, then you have COVID, and so it's so scary when that 2nd line appears.
Did you kind of suspect that you had it when you took the test?
Yes. Yes,
like
I did.
you pretty much like you knew it. You're just kind of doing it to be sure.
No, well, I think I knew it like in the same way like all of us are like probably at this time and for the last couple of years, like every time you cough, you're like, oh fuck, is this COVID? And then this time I was actually like so tired that I couldn't get up, and I knew like something was wrong, and I was like, I'm gonna get this test, and it was scary, but anyway, so we were talking about eating poop.
Yeah, we're talking about we've kind of been dancing back and forth between there's some contested King Mod shit.
Self-Immolation is tonight's theme.
And then we're talking about self-immolation and also eating poop. The main theme, though, is self-immolation, but throw all these themes into a paper bag, shake it up, stick your hand in there, and what do you have? What did you just pull out, Billy? What would you like to share with us?
Well, yeah, like if I had to choose, I would say I think I'd rather talk about setting myself on fire than eating poop.
Okay, yeah. What?
Not
Have
that
you
I'm
ever...
putting a value judgment on that. I'm just saying that personally, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, nope, still set myself on fire. Just part of my body. Like someone said before, does it count if it's like just your foot?
No.
Okay.
It has to be. Well, Rain Boomer brought up a good point. Is that there's a totality that's implied.
Yeah.
In immolation, like there's a complete destruction implied.
Yeah.
So
it's a sacrifice.
Yes, that you have to be. So one thing that I've been kind of stuck on is that the first time I saw it, a picture of it, I was like, wow, that's very shocking, but also that is awesome. Is the next thought that I had, and what is cool about it is something that I'm trying to figure out. Why do you think it's cool?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say it's cool, but it like if you are demonstrating against something or trying to put across a message, there's really nothing you can do that's more. Well, maybe there are, but I can't think of anything that really instills an idea of like, hey, I really want you to understand this thing, than setting yourself on fire, because that's pretty powerful and it's not easy to ignore.
What if what they were demonstrating just doesn't have a whole lot of legs, though? What if they're demonstrating for, I don't know, for example, in my hometown, we have our stoplights they're long. And you talk to anybody that lives in this town, they hate waiting at a stoplight. Because it takes so long, there's not a lot of people here. Now, if one of the townspeople
Stoplights are long?
Huh? What'd you say?
The stoplights are long?
Yeah, the stoplights are very long here.
Okay.
So the stoplights being long, and it kind of being a real thorn in everyone's side. And now imagine, a member of the community walking up to the courthouse, declaring some sort of manifesto, pouring gasoline over them, and no one's still taking them seriously because it seems so extreme. But then they just continue to light themselves on fire. Now, is that still cool or no?
No.
Is it still inspiring?
Yeah, at that point, I'm going to say, from my standpoint, I would say value your life a little more than that, because stoplights are really just a chance to take a break, and unless someone's like hurting and you're being able to help them by setting yourself on fire, which I imagine is super painful, I'm guessing, I guess you'd just die from the gas. I'm not sure how that would work, but unless you're really helping someone, like value your life a little bit more than that. So like, not stoplights, but like human trafficking, something like that. If you're trying to get someone's attention, like the state, like if you live, like I live in a port city, and there's a lot of human trafficking here.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know if I'd set myself on fire, but maybe that's the closest I could think of something that is worth setting yourself on fire for.
Interesting. So there's definitely there's a cause, and the cause has to be grave enough, is what you're saying.
I mean, I think because it's your life, and also a whole lot of pain. It's one thing to shoot yourself, but another thing to like die
Burn
in flames.
alive.
Yeah. But I mean, to go back to what you said, it is weirdly cool, and I can't explain why.
So you do admit that it is kind of cool. You said a second ago that you couldn't say that it was cool, but you say it's cool now?
Well, it does look kind of cool.
But I did kind of win you over.
Yeah. But I don't suggest that anyone does that.
No. If anyone's considering lighting themselves on fire in the chat, please don't.
But you know, if you want to Photoshop it or something, that is cool. The idea
not as
of
cool
it
though.
is cool.
Not as cool.
Not as cool.
Don't do it. But it wouldn't be as cool if you Photoshopped it. If you're thinking about it. So Belly, what can you? Not that you're on the upswing, right? Belly's coming back into her body, coming back, and it's also turning into spring. Unless, depending on where you're calling in the world, if you're in the northern, I think that's how it goes. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be spring.
Yeah, I'm calling from the Bay Area and like near San Francisco.
Oh, okay. So it's turning spring. Spring is sprunging, so to speak.
Yeah, sprung it did over here, pretty much.
Well, tell me, what are you looking forward to? What should we keep in mind because you have a little bit more of an intense swing up than a lot of us. So I'm sort of kind of meandering my way through the gray zone. I'll find myself in a more pleasant position. But you, upswing. Tell us about that perspective, and what would you tell us to keep? What's something we should all be excited about?
I mean, I don't know if you've categorized me correctly. I'm probably more in the gray zone.
Okay.
But I'm going to say, let's see, what could we look forward to? That's a good question.
What are you looking forward to coming up here in the next couple months?
Gosh. It's so sad that I don't know the answer to that. And also, it looks like you're drinking gasoline. Is that gasoline in that cup?
No, it's not. It's coffee and a little bit of, huh? Yeah, it's coffee. Well, it's about a 2-liter bottle of stale root beer, heated up and poured through coffee beans.
Oh, okay.
That I did not grind up. So
okay.
this really sucks.
Yeah, it looks like it's not great. You at least need a water chaser. You want to keep it at the ratio at 1 to 1, depending on what you're drinking.
I do. I got a little bit of water right here.
Yeah, you drink some water. I forgot what you asked me. Oh, looking forward to
So
stuff.
yeah, what are you excited about? What's something? Give us a little something. What should we be looking forward to? What's something we can all look forward to?
I'll look forward to.
We need some sort of hope, Belly, and I think I might have asked the wrong person.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, that's an answer in and of itself. Is don't put stock in hope. Kind of just.
Oh no. Okay, wait. I can think of something. Let's
All
see.
right.
Okay, so we're at war. So that means the stocks will go up. It depends on what you.
So invest in. Invest in what?
Like if you are invested in gas or oil or Boeing, any weaponry.
Northrop Grumman.
Yeah, so that's going to go up.
Raytheon.
Or, to be honest, war is like a big moneymaker. And it's far enough away that we don't actually have to be afraid of it because it is so far from us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still an awful, horrible war. But it still works the same way money-wise, at least as an American.
Right. So invest in something like a weapons manufacturer is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, they don't like. You can Google it. I would just like maybe Boeing, something like that. A company that pretends to be an airline company, but they're actually making fighter jets and the kind of stuff that you think that will make you go to hell because you have invested in it and profited from it after you die.
Sure.
Like is
Okay.
Boeing or Tran.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I think that was a perfect way to end the call. Thank you, Belly. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for the stock advice. And this is also, if anybody does follow through with that, and this was legally binding, Belly, just so you know.
That I encouraged people to light themselves on fire.
Yeah, or invest in Boeing.
Oh, in Boeing. You know what? You can't put that on me.
Well, we'll see. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I'll take whatever heat I can from it. But some might find its way to you.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling, Belly.
Okay. Bye, Leslie.
All right. Bye. Catch up on the chat. I don't know. There's a bunch of. No, human traffickers would not care about self-immolation. I think that you can just pretty much call them an enemy. I don't think there's any winning them over. Oh, and we're getting another call already. This is such a talkative night. You guys are a bunch of chatty Cathys tonight. Thank you so much for calling Explorations. My name is Leslie. Caller, what is something that I can call you?
What's up, Leslie? This is Bob again.
Bob, it's great to hear from you. How are you today?
Doing good, you know. Spring break's over. I'm back up at school. Everything's going okay.
Well, that's wonderful. How was spring break?
Kind of sucked, you know. Didn't do much, but you know, it's good to get you know, stop classes for a week, you know,
Sure.
take a relax. So
you're back
other
at
than
school
that,
right
though,
now.
Yes, I am back at school. Yes.
And have you gotten a chance to talk about your spring break to anybody who had a worse spring break than you? To kind of share your stories, and they're just like, oh, I had, you know, I actually got my car towed, and I had
I know some people that didn't leave.
friend
for
from
spring
high school
break. They
die or
just-
something.
Yeah, I know some people that like didn't leave for spring break. They just kind of sat home, did nothing. I mean, I at least left.
Sure.
Like, even though I did nothing when I got back home, but like at least I left and, you know, left the city and got like in a new environment for a week. So, but no, not really.
Hey, now, one thing I love personally about relaxing And well, I hopefully to go back to that, I hope you find somebody because it's not really worth having a really nice time unless someone's having a worse time. And I know that sounds counterintuitive and mean spirited, but there's something that it just makes the sugar taste a little bit more sweet, knowing that somebody else doesn't have it. Does that make sense? Just as an act of self-care.
It does. It makes perfect sense. It's like when
Okay.
you brag to someone that you have a girlfriend, and they don't, kind of thing.
Exactly. That is exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I was trying to get at. So tonight, though, Bob, I don't know if you've been watching the stream, but tonight we're talking about self-immolation. And self-immolation is the act of lighting yourself on fire. Usually, it's associated with demonstrating for political purposes to some sort of political end. It doesn't have to be, but it generally is. And Bob, I want to ask you. I'm glad you called because you're coming off this spring break trip and you're relaxed, maybe a little more able to reorder your priorities in life, see what's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
What is there anything in your moment of clarity right now that you can see yourself lighting yourself on fire for?
Lighting myself on fire for that's a tough one. That's a very tough question. I do not see myself lighting myself on fire, like in most situations, any situation, to be honest.
So that's a no. You can't imagine lighting yourself on fire for anything.
No, I mean I could imagine situations where I might be lit on fire,
But against your will.
not against my will. Yes.
Yeah.
Like if I was captured by a terrorist cell in like Afghanistan or something, then I could be lit on fire. But
Right.
am I gonna light myself on fire? No, I don't think so. I think it hurts, doesn't it? Doesn't it hurt? Would it hurt?
Bob, it would hurt a lot. And I think why it is kind of cool to see when people do it. They're willing to feel all that pain for some reason or another, and it's more focus and integrity than I have certainly for anything in my life. So let's play a mental exercise, Bob. I'd like you to just imagine yourself on the footsteps of a courthouse, and you're on fire. And and I'd like to work backward from this. So imagine you're there, right? You're on fire, you're in a great deal of pain. You try to breathe, and you breathe in the fire, and it burns your lungs. Now, this little snapshot of a moment, why did you do it? What can you imagine? Like, you found yourself at this position. You've already done it. You don't have to decide to do it anymore. But having made the decision, why? What could it possibly be that drove you to do this in the first place?
Something. I'm gonna be vague here. Something that, like, it would have to be for something bigger than myself. You know what I mean?
Certainly, I agree with that. Something that I really believed in with other people.
Exactly. Like, it's definitely a statement, you know? It's like sacrificing. It's like if I was to sacrifice. I mean, it is sacrificing yourself.
Exactly,
but
yeah.
But it's something that would have to be, like, definitely bigger than myself. And that, like, I would
We're getting there.
I'm trying to think about it. It's something bigger than myself. Like, it doesn't. I don't really know. Like, I wouldn't say anything specific because there's so many things that are bigger than myself that, like, I would find worthy of doing that. Like, I'm not gonna light myself on fire for, I don't know, some protest of, like, some poor people in, like, China or something. But
wait,
I
would not do that. For poor people
would not. No.
Okay.
Would not do that for poor people. But, like, if it's something like liberty, like, I'm thinking like American Revolution type shit right here, right?
Okay,
like,
so somewhere else, someone else's liberty that you are not connected to, not not high in your priority list is what I'm hearing. But if it has to do with some sort of federal liberty here,
Yes.
now would you do it at the state level?
I don't know, state level? I don't know. Does anyone really care about state level?
Well, what if?
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Well, I would say, let me see here. Yeah, sort of, if
Saw a scenario to save your mom.
yeah, it could be a saw scenario to save your mom, someone in your family. It could be protesting, you know.
Okay,
maybe...
well, that's a good one. If I had to like set myself on fire to save like 1,000 people, then I would do it, I guess. So and that like ties back into like it's bigger than myself.
Well, how about this? What if they were Chinese? You have to. You'd have to. You just said it,
yeah,
so you'd have to say yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Wow, interesting.
I mean,
so,
yeah, sure.
Interesting. Wow.
It's like if you're on the airplane, or like it's like if you, it's like okay, this can get a little bit grim, but like let's say there's like a shooter, right, a mass shooter, and he's on the loose, and if you put yourself in front of other people and you save like 20, 30 people, like I would do that. I mean, I'm saying that I don't know what I would act like in that situation, but like that's something like if like I knew that's what was gonna happen, I would do it. So like I guess it's like the same thing with the fire. Like if I lit myself on fire and I saved a bunch of people, then yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
So that I think this was such a fruitful exploration that we were able to do together, Bob. We started off from a place just a couple minutes ago, saying that you wouldn't light yourself on fire, and then once we worked backwards, though, we found 3 or 4 situations in which you would light yourself on fire.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You've convinced me, Leslie.
What about... Okay, we've got some questions from the chat. Hold on. Somebody asked a second ago. Give me one moment. I've got a question from Goran818. Could you ask Bob if he likes yum yum sauce?
Oh, yum yum sauce.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like the white sauce. You know, have you ever been to a hibachi restaurant? Like, they cook on the table in front of you, like a Japanese?
Yes, I have seen them on TV. I've never been to one.
All right. Well, like, they give you 2 sauces there, right? They give you
Sure.
ginger sauce and they give you yum yum sauce.
Okay.
Yum yum sauce is the white sauce. It's like a mayonnaise base, and then ginger is ginger.
Sure.
But yeah, yum yum sauce is pretty good. I would not light myself on fire for it though. But I do love yum yum sauce. So,
Big yum yum
thank
sauce
you for the
fan.
accents.
Would
Yes,
not
you should try some.
light self on fire. I will. I appreciate the suggestion. I grow so much from the suggestions here at Explorations. The community gives me more reading, movie, music, and food suggestions than I could follow up on in 10 lifetimes, and I cherish that. I cherish the community here. So before you go though, Bob, I'm trying to think of.
Oh, did you ever get? I saw in the Discord you said you like for Pi Day you've never been to Blaze Pizza.
Oh, I've been to Blaze Pizza. I wasn't sure. They're not... Blaze Pizzas aren't very common where I am, so I wasn't sure if that's what we were referring to. There's only one that I know of. Is there 2? There might be a second one downtown.
They're all over the place here. There's one across the street from me.
Yeah, they're not very... They're not super common here. There was one that I used to eat before work, but I do... what do you get on your Blaze Pizza? Let's leave it at that. What do you put on your Blaze Pizza?
See, I'm not a simple man when it comes to pizza, Leslie.
Let's get kooky. Let's get complicated.
So, I like going to Blaze because Blaze is good if you like lots of toppings on your pizza, right? If you're
Yes.
just getting cheese pizza, I mean, yeah, they got okay cheese pizza, but like you can go to Domino's, get a cheese pizza for like $5. You know, it's pretty big, whatever. Blaze, you go there for the toppings, all right? It's $9. You get whatever you want on that, okay? It's actually
Sure.
for everyone listening right now. Since it's Pi Day yesterday, it's $3.14 for any pizza at Blaze until March 31st. So hit them up. I'm not sponsored by Blaze, by the way, but
That's great news, though. Thank you for sharing
yes,
that.
yes. When I go to Blaze, right, I usually start with like a red sauce, right? You can get
Red
the
sauce.
pesto, you can get the white
Pesto.
sauce. I don't know.
White sauce.
That's not like authentic pizza, right? I like
It's a lot
red
of sauce.
Yeah, you should join the Sauce Club. I'll actually give you a link. I'm president of Sauce Club, but we can talk about that later, right?
I don't think
So-
that's real. Are you just make that up?
No, I can send you the Discord link right now if you wanted. I could literally send you.
Yeah, put it. Yeah, please send it to me. DM me or whatever you gotta do. I'd love to be in the sauce club. Love sauce.
Yeah, no problem. But anyways, I
Quickly,
go for the
get
red
us through
sauce.
the toppings. Yeah.
I do the standard mozzarella, right? I add a little bit gorgonzola, make it a little fancy. Then I go for the meats, right? I usually get every meat. I'm a meat lover type guy, right? And I like getting my money's worth, okay? So I'm gonna stock up on those toppings, right? I get the meatball, the pepperoni, sausage, all that stuff, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And then I go to the veggies, and I pretty much get all the veggies also. This pizza is thick, okay? It's high. It's like, 2 or 3 inches high, right? That's how.
Okay. All right. If you could leave those toppings in Discord, Bob. I apologize on having hang up the call. It was just you were taking so long, and we were just taking so long, and I have to pee so bad. So hopefully, we get those ingredients in the chat, or maybe in the Discord. Maybe we could discuss things. You have to pee, don't you? I do. I do have to pee. That's why I am gonna go pee right now, and I'll be right back in just a second. the void. The void extends behind me as far as we can see. Can you pee? Can you do that? Is that TOS? No, I had definitely more pee than... I definitely had more pee in me than could fit in a mug. That's certainly true. The Morse code. Welcome. Welcome, Morse code. Bless you. Bless all of you. Welcome to Explorations. We're getting a call. This is so exciting. I love the community here. Thank you so much for calling Explorations. My name is Leslie. Caller, what is something that I can call you?
You can call me Blake, Leslie. How lovely it is to hear your voice.
Blake, it's great to hear your voice. Hey, you've called before, right? Was this
no,
your first
actually,
time?
I'm a first-time caller, many-time listener.
Oh, really? Well, welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad that you got the energy up to call.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Blake, how did you find the stream in the first place? I'd love to know.
Well, Leslie, I can't really give you a good answer. I truly felt like I was led here. I somehow stumbled into the talk shows and podcasts category by something I never do, and I scrolled down, and something about the thumbnail or the name of the channel just called me. I think it's the best way I can describe it.
I think honestly, when I asked that question, I posed that question to a lot of first-time callers. I posed that question saying, knowing that the answer I get is going to be coded in some sort of, I found the link on, on Reddit, or I found, I found it on talk shows and podcasts. But ultimately, though, what I believe to the core of my heart is exactly what you just shared with me, Blake. That you were led
Really?
here. This was not an accident.
I see. It was, but it was strange. It was like a groping about, but something beyond me led me. Does that make sense?
Blake, it makes perfect sense. I mean, that's you. Let's just say you have found a home. You can make it your home, your home, but you have found a home, so to speak. I need to activate something real quick. Something. Hold on one second. I had an error. Is this going? Are we going? Everything is all happening for. Okay, sorry. Well,
no worries at all, Leslie.
I got a weird. Get out of here. I just got a weird error message from. You ever used the Leorin board? Do you stream?
I do not, Leslie.
What the heck? Oh, well, we're having some technical issues. Anyway, whatever. Hopefully that just takes care of itself. There's an extension that I use for all the interactive stuff called Leorin board. That is just took a shit for some reason. I don't really understand why. But in any case, Blake, what's on your heart and what's on your mind? We're talking about self-immolation tonight. I don't know. Do you know what that is? Are you familiar with that term?
I am, Leslie, and I can't imagine why anyone would self-immolate with gas prices as high as they are. It's outlandish to me.
That is so perfect. Yes, I can't believe you're the first one that's brought this up. That's brought up the hold on, what the fuck? Okay, let's try that. That no one has brought up gas prices in gas prices in the context of a sort of as a spiritual sacrifice. You should maybe light something smaller on fire.
It's a good train of thought. Like, how many gallons of gas is needed for a self-immolation? That's something I find myself wondering right now.
Right now, I'll bet. I was going to say you're probably going to say right now that you're thinking this.
Well,
and
can we do anything but the right now?
I would argue no.
And
that it's sort of a prison. It's a sort of hell that we cannot transcend as much as we would like to. Just a message to the chat: if you are trying to do any, hold on, if you're trying to chime in on what the fuck, yes. If you're trying to, hold on, maybe we're going to fix it. Never mind. We're fixing it right now. Sorry about this. I apologize.
No, Leslie, not at all. Something about my presence seems to be disturbing.
Oh no.
The gods of the technicals.
Yes, but that that's not necessarily a bad thing. You might have like one of those auras that kind of just ruins things around you, but at the same time, this is a safe place for that kind of vibe. If you have that kind of vibe. Do you have that kind of vibe, Blake?
I think that's something that's hard to self-diagnose, Leslie. But I think maybe I could have that vibe, but at a smaller wavelength. Something not so potent.
So not a wide wavelength, not destroying everything around you necessarily, but destroying some things for sure. It sounds like.
Right. I feel like I'm the infrared wave of those types of vibrations.
Bad vibes. So you've got like a bad infrared vibe.
Right, but it's something usually unknown, unseen, something operating before the visual spectrum.
Honestly, that's a pretty good deal. If you've got to have a bad vibe, if you could just get it on the margins of the spectrum so everybody's like, like somebody farted.
Exactly.
All the time.
But you don't know where it is. It's particularly insidious type. I agree with you, even if it might not be as potent.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Interesting. So, do you have a lot of friends, Blake?
I can't say that I do, Leslie, but I do count you as a friend, so
and I count you as a friend as well.
Today. Well,
so I'm your only friend.
Not the only one, but one of now few, but slightly less few.
Blake, I just want you to know, if you get your hands dirty in the community, you get involved, you start talking to some people, you're going to find yourself with a whole host of friends. You're going to find yourself in a very intense community committed to the program, and what the program gives you in return for your effort is immeasurable. And I think anyone in the chat can attest to that if you want to just poke around and ask and see what their experience with the program is. I count you as a friend now. I'm so glad that you've called in. And Blake, tell me, what are you most excited about as you're your first time caller? You've watched several times though. How are you most excited to apply explorations to your life? Is it more friends, or are you fine with that? Is it maybe something else?
Well, I think it's very touching what you just said, Leslie, and I would think that although the community around explorations is definitely something to be desired, a great good, I think the most important part of explorations to me is just that. It's the exploration. It's a call to be inquisitive, to see what people order on their blaze pizzas, to consider why others might self-immolate, why you might self-immolate, to wonder what people dream, to inquire about my own dreams, to really investigate the source.
The source of your dreams. What is the source of your dreams, Blake? If you had to just answer right now, off the top of your head, what is the source of your dreams, Blake?
The unknowable me, Leslie. The me that
unknowable you
is invisible. The infrared me, to return to an earlier metaphor.
The infrared you. Wow. So there's that stinky part. That part that we can sense, but is ultimately we don't know where it's coming from. But it's still as much of you as your fingernails are.
Oh, that's an interesting way to think about it. But it's not as immediate as the fingernails, though. It's something hidden, something deeper, something we might not want to recognize. Have you dreamed of something that you didn't like, Leslie?
Yeah, absolutely. I killed a dog on purpose. I ran over a dog on purpose in my dreams last night.
Oh, wow.
I chased it in my car and I ran it over, yeah.
Wow, so you chased it. Wow.
Yeah.
So it was something very, very intentional. Do you know
I had
why you might have dreamed something like that?
No idea. I was in a RAV4.
I see. What color?
Good question. It was a couple different colors. It was a dark purple at first, and then it became sort of maroon, like a brownish maroon.
I see. Was that because of the collision, or was that something changing about the RAV4 itself?
Ooh. I think it has to do with the something inside of me. My sort of unknowable, unconscious infrared self sort of morphed the vehicle into, from a fun sort of beachy party vehicle that you go pick your friends up in and go to Buffalo Wild Wings, to an instrument of death. And I think that's what the color was a reflection of.
Wow. See, this is what I appreciate explorations for, is this dialogue right here, how we're exploring together, holding hands.
I know, exactly. And it takes each and every one of us to do this sort of bullshit. How-itis, hold on, somebody has a question. How-itis 1, you are watching Explorations. This is a self-help call-in sort of program with which we explore the universe both within and without to sort of manifest our truest destinies. If you care to explore, please call in or play with the channel points. Hopefully you kind of just figure it out. Hopefully you're still around. Morse code, also thank you for the raid. I just noticed you are in the chat. Thanks so much for bringing the party. But Blake, before you go, and I hope you call in again. I hope you call in. It's every Tuesday and Thursday at 8. I know you've watched a couple. Hope you probably know that. 8 o'clock Central Time. If I'd like you to address, there are some newcomers and some lurkers in the back, people that have never seen Explorations before. What advice would you give them to get the most out of this program?
Oh, that's a tough question, Leslie.
Try your best. Thank you, Anonymous.
Leslie, I think in my experience, I think the most I get out of explorations is by turning inward. So when I hear someone describe their Blaze pizza toppings in exhaustive detail, I think, what does this mean for me? How can I use this for me so that this can be used for the other, for the collective, for all of exploration?
Wow.
I think that attitude. Go ahead.
No. You keep going. Keep pulling on this thread, Blake.
I think it's through the individual exploration that we build the collective exploration. And I think everybody should take great. It will hurt. It hurts to look at yourself. because sometimes there's things we don't like maroon RAV4s or
It's ugly.
yum yum sauces.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where that inquisitive nature is where we get the things that let us explore. Those are the true Atlantises and the golden cities that we need to be looking for, ever searching for. So I
Wonderful.
apologize, Leslie, if I'm getting a little too poetic, but
no, that was
that's
beautiful.
how I feel.
That was a beautiful way to land that plane, Blake. Thank you thank you for calling in tonight, and I really hope everybody, all the lurkers, really take to heart what he just shared with you. Really take to heart what the cost is and the price of admission for the program, and it will pay you back, but it will be scary and it will hurt, as Blake said in a much more poetic way. Blake, thank you for calling. I hope you call again. Thank you. This has been a really fun conversation.
Thank you, Leslie. I feel the same. Have a great night.
Okay. Bless you, but namaste. I see we have some people I gotta catch up with my Leorn board's kind of crashing right now, so I am going to. Somebody anonymous cheered with 100 bits, so this is what 100 bits looks like. It's the blossom. This is what it's like, and I apologize that it didn't just happen. Should have just happened. And I see Doofus having got an Explorer. Now, that was a perfect example of the different experiences we can all have within explorations. Some of us may begin and you're called and there's an excitement, right? And that excitement can propel us forth into discoveries, into questioning, into expressing, into exploring. But sometimes we may be called, and very quickly that excitement can turn into a visceral pain as we are forced to relax and take stock of what and who we are. And it doesn't look good. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. You look inside and it stinks in there. Sucks. And that's just part of it. That is just part of the program. And don't run from that. This will cure mental illness. This program cures mental illness. This channel will cure mental illness. And then also I see, Nutmesh got a communicate going. Let's get that going. Technology. Is technology a tool, or are we already past the point of becoming technology ourselves? Is technology, as many scientists claim, is technology a sort of final form of evolution as we understand from our perspective? Is it part of a planetary biology that we become technology? I think that's a very arrogant thing to say, and makes me want to get in a fight a scientist. M1557, I think technology will eventually force me to set fire to myself. Interesting. Interesting. Tonight we are discussing self-immolation, pros, cons, cost, benefits. I'm probably never going to do it. And I encourage you to not do it. Wars, welcome. Welcome to the fold. Already, I feel the foundation for what is to come has become so much stronger today. Just this stream. And I'm sure a lot of you that have been here for a while are noticing that as well. You notice that as we are joined, as the lurkers, as we gain lurkers that find us, and the lurkers come forward and they follow or they call, we can the fortress edifies itself, and we find ourselves strong, like a castle. I did have a dream about killing a dog the other day. It was very unpleasant. I don't know what dogs represent to my subconscious, but ultimately I'm okay not knowing right now. I think technology will eventually force me to set fire to myself. I hope not. M15, I hope not. It was about a medium dog. It was one of those Australian shepherds. I think it's called. It's kind of like playful, high energy, sweet disposition otherwise, but I did kill it. I don't understand why. I'm afraid to find out. I'm afraid to take a peek inside Leslie and see the gears turning. But I might just have to, because I keep having that dream. Yeah, like a mixture of black and white. Howitis, thank you. Now, what is the role of fitness in everyone's lives? Does anybody see a value in it? Does anybody participate on a semi-regular or regular basis? I'm working on a section of explorations revolving around fitness, a fitness program. Oh, so it's positive that I did that. Red Bear? That is terrible. But funny. You have a dastardly, devilish sense of humor, and it adds such a color. Thank you. I wish we could get a video feed of JJ crushing Guitar Hero right now. So those of you that are new to the community, JJ is the, so far the King mod. There has been a challenge to King moderator status among a couple members. Stronger, more powerful, and don't need. I love the spirit. I love your take, M15. Thank you. That makes me feel good. And I love to feel good. And I don't like to feel bad. Tonight we're talking about, we've been talking about so much. And what did I say at the beginning? That the lessons themselves would emerge over time. Who could have predicted that we'd be connecting dots between the conflict in Ukraine, eating poo, and lighting yourself on fire? Are these things connected? Can we connect them? Can we solve the crisis in Ukraine through eating poop as a form of self-immolation? I would say yes. I think that is the next step in modern Western activism. I think that if you are called to organize, if you are called to demonstrate, if you're called to phone bank, I call upon our leaders, social justice leaders, to focus that energy, take it to the next level, and go. Oh, this sounds derogatory, but go eat shit. Go eat your shit, and let people watch. Let people watch you eat your shit. And I think that'll really propel things. I'm imagining a world free of war. You know what? So I think, are you the one that got me a couple days ago with all this nonsense, Rain Boomer? My lawyers? Happy about what? I have a team of about 10 lawyers. Somebody got me on stream like on Thursday. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't eat poop. Don't light yourself on fire. Don't do that. But it's cool. And fun to think about. Yeah, don't actually, well, or do it. We explore here. No, we explore here. We don't have answers. We have questions. And we have explorations. We don't have answers. Now, if you wish to heed the advice of someone within the community, that is, is your right as an adult. Your right as an adult. However, I think it's imperative that we as adults with free minds, free thinking minds, shake loose the chains of the elite cabal and consider each thing under the sun and support or discount it on its own merit. And that includes eating shit and lighting yourself on fire. And if the elite cabal has a problem with that, then they have a problem with the human mind. They have a problem with imagination. But it might kill you. And I would say the same. I say I trust Butter Nichols more than experts. Experts. There's no experts here. There are no experts here, guys. Experts take a hike. You leave your expert hat hanging on a coat rack and you come sit down by the warm fire of explorations. You don't talk to me about your degrees. You do not lecture us from a pulpit built on lies, built on the master's subjectivity. No. Yes, experts, be gone. Be gone with each of you. You are free here to be a dumb asshole, as we have discussed before. You can be a dumb asshole in explorations. We encourage it. And the reason is because I know for a fact that in the chat tonight there are some dumb assholes. Some of you right now, you might be a dumb asshole. And I think that's fucking awesome. I think that's great. That is such a your petals, the petals of your flower, deserve to bloom as much as some big brain Oxford scientist telling me about whale migration patterns. Fuck a whale and fuck how they migrate. I don't know. I saw one once at an aquarium. I've never seen one out in the wild. They could have been animatronic. As a thought regime, the scientific community has a lot to prove about why their subjectivity is should reign supreme. I think, but that's that's for another day. Butter Nichols, you've been laughing IRL? That's wonderful. If you need to step away from the screen, you can. Innovates. The UN recently put out a report about how everything is fucked climate-wise. And every time we allow the science to develop, the picture gets worse, and that it's getting worse at a faster rate than we initially projected. But then they're always like, my favorite part of those is that they're like, you're like, unless we completely revamp our entire political and economic system in the next 5 to 10 years, we're gonna like boil the seas or something. And then at the end, it's like somebody with like an Old Navy shirt being like, but it could happen. It could not be that bad. What a gift that little look is. That guys, the world is on fire and it's getting even worse. Millions will die needlessly. And it's all systematically produced and within our reach to change. But we're not doing it or even close. And then the ability to just be like, well, but keep your chin up. I think that is so funny. Yeah, I listened to I used to work at nonprofits, and I watched this video earlier today of a climate scientist, and it talked, address of why everything is so fucked, but then that sort of like, but we could change it together, and they have that nonprofit look on their face. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Team Webb think getting to Mars and being a multi-planet species will be achieved in our current lifetime? Like, how old are you? Maybe in your lifetime, but I don't think in my lifetime. Honestly, I don't think so. But maybe I'm wrong. Oh, so we're around the same age. I would say, I don't know. It doesn't look good. I know. It's like, that non-profit look on their face is so funny. But like, centering spaces, voices, community, and collective action, and like you could play bingo with these words, and then the emotional work that these words are doing are so insane, because you go from painting a very bleak end of the world picture to like keep your chin up. But if you do your homework, if we all just did our homework, it's all going to be fine. We have no idea really what the homework even is. I would say, I think that all of our expectations, largely, and I am definitely included in this, are based on mid-century, post-World War II, omni-power affluence, which I think we give too much credit. I think we are not fully aware of how conditional that point of resonance was for like 30 years after the war. And all of our projections of what is possible in the future are based on that. And right now, like what? Like NASA is not about to get enough money to go to Mars. Elon Musk is seems like a snake oil salesman. I mean, it's inspiring, I guess, that somebody's even trying to at all, but I don't think he's not a product of the same cultural, scientific, collective resonance that was present at that point. So I don't think we're going to be at Mars by the time. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Laugh, cry, yoga. That takes me back. It's been a long time since I've taught that class at the Y. Laugh, cry, yoga. Where laugh, cry, yoga is a form of yoga that you begin laughing lightly. And you kind of remember a soft memory from the past, and you kind of conjure a laugh up for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then you switch to crying. You think of a lightly sad memory that maybe a distant pet that died that you weren't that attached to, but it was still sad. It still made your family sad, so you got a little sad too, and you maybe cry a little bit at that. Then you go back to laughing. And you up the intensity, and you cut the time back in half. So 15 seconds of about, bring it up to a 4. Then you go back, do the same thing with crying. 10 seconds, bring that up to a 6. Then you cut back over to laugh. You oscillate between laughing and crying at increasingly intense levels until you're both crying and laughing at maximum levels of intensity. And it is traumatic. It is... I've watched people not take days to recover from it, but it is safer than drugs. It is more durable than drugs. And I watched a grown woman piss and shit herself at the Y. And I encouraged her to do it. She entered a manic state, and I encouraged her to continue to piss and shit. Curled into a ball. It was very obvious what was happening to anyone. People were concerned, but I said, get away from her. I yelled at her, like, keep going, keep going, keep going. You keep pissing, you keep shitting, you keep freaking out. I want to see your eyes get bloodshot. And they did. I mean, that was kind of the end of the class. I don't regret it for a moment that night, but that was the kind of tip the scales in someone else's favor, because I wanted to keep teaching the class, but I was not allowed to. Interesting. Maybe I could get a grant. Maybe we could get a grant to teach that from the some sort of climate. Maybe I could get paid like a $500,000 consultant fee to go teach laugh cry yoga to some nonprofit funded by like the Ford Foundation or I don't know, like moveon.org. If I go to their headquarters and get like $100,000 to do like a 3-day retreat. Worried about, worried for, or worried by? Like we're gonna have a negative effect. $2,500 minimum. Yeah. So I mean, I meant 500,000. We're dealing with something like I think Will Smith has a nonprofit for something or another. Have you been sleeping enough, doofus? We are discussing self-immolation. 312-612-0853. Probably gonna head out in just a second, but I'm just doing one last call. One last call out for calls. 312-612-0853. Well, everyone, I think it's that time of the night. I think it's time to reflect on what we've covered tonight. We've covered so much. We have some newcomers, some new followers. Graced us with some follows, some calls, some anonymous cheering. We talked about eating poop, pros, cons. Lighting yourself on fire, pros, cons. I feel like getting Bob, whenever Bob calls, it turns into like one of those shell games, those cup games, where we just try to, like, what about now? Nope. And but the point of the game is to try to find ways in which he's not racist. Bless you, Bob. You're not. I believe you. But it's just funny. I don't know if he's around anymore. Seriously, Bob. Please don't take that personally. Yeah, whatever that cup game is, the shell, it's got 3, and you got a thing under it, and you move them around. I don't know. Waxy, thank you. Bob, if you're around. I don't think you're racist, but it's funny. Keep calling, keep pushing, keep excavating. The vulnerability in excavating should never be underestimated. I've said it before and I said it again. I am a dumb asshole, and I encourage others to be as well. Experts are not allowed in the exploration zone. Oh, don't worry about her. Don't worry. I think it's time. It's probably time to call it anyway. Waxy, thank you for the bits. Well, guys, have a wonderful evening. Please, each of you, have a wonderful evening. I'd love to all of us come back on Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time, enthused, energized, with having processed what we discussed tonight and using it for a fuel like biodiesel, converting piss into fuel, and coming back Thursday ready. Oh yeah, hope you feel better, if that's from sickness. Unless you're just kind of like screaming. Team Web, thanks for hanging out. Well, each of you, like I said, have a wonderful evening, and if you have any ideas in the meantime, please join the Discord and drop any questions or guidance that you need. The community there is more than willing to guide in between explorations. So, namaste to each of you. Sleep well, and I'll see you on Thursday. Of course I'm one.